a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Ramona. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast. Ramona. We're all about to talk on life. Our guest will share his life story. We want you to success in life. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk on life. We're gonna talk on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are gonna witness. Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast.
What's changing is, and this is interesting, there was a Gartner survey that first said, okay, 75% of people, that was 10 years ago, 75% of people don't want to talk to you anymore. They want to go directly to your website, find the information on their own, see the price, and decide on their own. Okay. Then AI came in, and now the Gartner thing is on the other part of the spectrum. Now it says 75% went the other way around. They want to have a conversation before a critical decision.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. I am pretty fired up to have you today because, as I say all the time, I have a number of sales experts on, and you're selling every day. You sold your wife this morning. Probably this afternoon, you're going to sell a coworker. You're going to sell your grandmother. You're going to sell your friend, or they're going to sell you. It's happening all the time. I know people get that eerie feeling when they hear sales. You're doing it all the time. You don't even realize you're doing it. And we'll sprinkle in a little bit of AI and an incredible book my guest has written. So before we start, here's our gratitude for today. You're amazing in every single way. And going through my guest's background, he's pretty amazing. He's international. He's in Austria, which I love my international folk. It allows me to travel and eventually meet some of my guests. But let's bring our guest on. Simon, welcome to the show.
Hey, Steve. Hey, everyone.
To start out, what's the biggest impact you've made as of today in your life?
You know, my mission is to help people come together in moments of joy. So every day, the impact is they come in like this, like a normal person having a normal day, which is full of stress, and they get out like this. That's the impact that I'm having every single day.
Well, you say joy, and it's interesting. Not a lot of people love sales. It's not joyful to them. How would you answer that question when somebody says, I don't have any joy with sales?
You shouldn't, right? Why should you? Sales is not something to strive for. Let's go one step back. Right? When does sales happen? Sales happens when you help somebody solve a problem. So when you help them make progress, right? That's what should be fun for you. Hey, can I help you solve a problem? Hey, can we build something together? Hey, can we co-create? Hey, can we break through that wall that you're facing? That should be the fun part. And if that happens, then they will say, please, can I have more of your time? Please, can I send you more money? And that's when the sales happen, right? But we don't start with sales in mind. We start with, how can we make progress?
So the joy you're telling me, which I'm hearing, is the outcome. Me and you work
Yes.
together. We launch a business. We sell each other. We sell, and we start a business, and it takes off, and it's successful. There's our joy, the outcome.
Look, I have 3 kids. When do they have joy? My daughter has joy when she wakes up in the morning. Papa, can we sing and dance? Sure. Papa, can we be a band? Sure. Papa, can you be my mom? Sure. Papa, can you be my horse? Sure. So that's what makes joy for her, right? The boys, they bring me some Lego or a broken skateboard. Papa, can we repair it? I'm stuck. Can you help me get unstuck? And then we work on that Lego or we repair the skateboard. And afterwards, we're proud, we're happy, and we have a skateboard, right? That's the joy. The joy is we have a problem, we say yes to it, we start working on it collaboratively together in a playful way, and then when we solve it, that's the moment of highest, being proud and feeling alive. But this whole problem and solving it together, that's what it's about, really.
I love that. It's great examples. Sound like your kids are wonderful as well. I want to shout out to your kids. Thank you for being part of my podcast. How does a servant's heart tie into sales? Because that's been the biggest challenge of people I mentor is, Steve, I love to serve. I love what you're doing. You're helping people and you're not getting paid, but I got to make money. I got bills to pay. I got all this. How can I be a servant's heart and still be successful at sales?
Let's go to the hardest part immediately, because this is advanced people. They know your framework, and so we can go advanced. When people say service, they think they show up to a call, to a conversation, and they have to say yes to everything, like I was saying yes to my daughter. And you talk for an hour, and then nothing happens. You solved some of their problems. You said yes to everything. They experienced you as super expert and super knowledgeable, but that's it. They don't have a reason. You don't have a follow-up call. They don't have a reason to buy anything from you. And that frustrates people. And they go, but Steve, I was in service, right? Why am I not making money? Let's go to the other side. When are you really in service? So after 23 years of being a sales coach, I get all these recordings. And I see people who are super nice. They listen, they know, they build a rapport, they do everything right, but they don't close. Because they think that the buyer needs to be in control. And it's actually the other way around. They need to be in control. Now, it sounds maybe counterintuitive, but wait a moment, if I'm in control, I'm not in service. Maybe yes. Follow me for a second. What if you prepare extremely well? You use everything at your disposal, juniors, AI, whatever you got, you use to really prepare for that call. And then we teach a close in 2 calls, right? There is call number 1, and then if you decide to offer them a second call, that will be a demo call. There is no demo, but we call it a demo call because historically you would show the product, right? Mm-hmm. And so first call is really just listening. Okay, where are you right now? Where do you want to go? Does this fit? What did you try? What else did you try? And did you give up? Oh, you still want to solve it. Okay, what's keeping you from solving it? Really understanding with zero agenda. But you are in control. Like I have these 8 steps in front of me, the yellow triangle. And even if I know them, I still have them in front of me because I want to be in control of the conversation. So I prepare very well. And then I come in and I just look at these 8 things. Visualize frustration, importance. What if they do nothing? Deliverables, investment, starting, statement of work. That's the only thing. So imagine there is a river. Every water is different, but there are just 8 stepping stones. So I want to be super present. I don't have a script where I would say, welcome, Steve, to this conversation. Yeah. So it's super natural. Because I have these 8 stepping stones, I know, okay, I can relax. I can go with the flow of the conversation, but I will be in control at 8 moments, at 8 critical decision points. And it's not my decision, it's their decision. So I prepare very well. I know the industry. I know the facts and data that I can gather. I talk to as many people as possible before, and with AI, we can be very well prepared in a minute. Now I listen, I go through the first 4 steps. If I decide, and I'm in control, if I decide that I will offer them a demo, that I want to work with them, and this is also something that most people wouldn't say that way. You decide if you take them as a client? Yes, you decide if you pick them as a client. If you make an offer, they will ask you in the first 5 minutes, what's the price? There is no price yet. I didn't make you an offer. So we might get there. That's step 5. You might get to step 5 today. I have one more question. So that's the technique, right? We go through these 4 stones. Then if you like them, if you want to have them as a client, you will make them an offer. You schedule the second call. Always schedule the second call. You will send the offer. You will send the statement of work in written. And then in the second call, you will pick it up from there. They will either sign it, or you will co-create it together, refine it together. Then they will sign, or they won't sign, and that's also fine. And that was the second call. That's a closing 2. Very rarely you can close in 1. Don't expect that. It's rather in this time of, like, let's say flat economy, it's more a close in 4 or 5 or even 6. So allow yourself even more time in this kind of environments. And in 23 years, I've seen the cyclicality of the markets. There are years where you close in 2, and there are years where you close in 5, and that's fine.
I love that control, because I teach networking the same way. You jump, I meet you. You ask a question, we're going to waste. I did with you. Control that networking event. That doesn't mean I'm not serving up. I want to get to know Simon, like in sales, to see how I can help Simon or whoever I'm talking. That control is huge, because the other side of that control, I've talked to experts like you, and they say the same thing, and you've got a great attitude. They may not be, you might say no to that. The guy goes, I want to sign up with you. They're not a fit for you. That's serving them as well, because you wouldn't be the greatest teacher or consultant for them, because there's not a fit. So I love the control part. Now, you just mentioned about the change in sales. You've done it 23 years. That's a long time. And you're probably 28 years old. You're very young looking. And what has changed in sales in 23 years, and what's going to change?
Fun is that in the buying process, 90% is the same.
Yeah.
We buy something because we want to solve a problem. We want to make progress. This is the best solution with what we got right now. But what's changing is, and this is interesting, there was a Gartner survey that first said, okay, 75% of people, that was 10 years ago, 75% of people don't want to talk to you anymore. They want to go directly to your website, find the information on their own, see the price, and decide on their own. Okay. Then AI came in, and now the Gartner thing is on the other part of the spectrum. Now it says 75% went the other way around. They want to have a conversation before a critical decision. Now, it's not sneakers, we still buy them online, but a critical conversation, like $20,000, $70,000, $200,000, we still want to talk to the person in charge just to make sure that we're making the right decision. And the reason is trust is gone. So we had a distrust in salespeople, and we had trust in websites, facts. Now that AI can make up websites in a minute, we distrust websites. We want to talk to a person, because at least a person, it's harder to replicate a person. I still trust more a person than AI. So I'd rather talk to somebody before I make a big investment.
Very interesting. Trust has changed because of AI. That's a great point. And speaking of AI, what's the best way? Because I get asked that too. What's the best way to use AI in my sales?
This is our favorite topic right now. So we have pivoted. We have a sales gym, right? You can have the key to the gym and train on your own. You can use classes. I run some classes. Colleagues run some classes. You can be in those sales classes, which are amazing because the music and the peers, etc. Or you can have your whole team is a class, right? And so those sales gyms, they have turned into AI training gyms, because everybody wants to learn AI and everybody wants to use AI to get rid of the boring stuff, which of course you should. And so we're training in AI more than we are training in sales right now because it's relevant. Everybody wants to learn it. What I built the so-called Jarvis. So in the morning, first of all, I row for 2 hours on the Danube. Then 8 o'clock, I'm here. I'm drinking my coffee, much needed coffee after 2 hours of rowing. And then I'm watching 43 agents work. That's basically what's happening. I call them Jarvis because I only look at Cloud Code's terminal. I don't open a CRM anymore. It's 5 months I didn't open a CRM. I didn't pay for a CRM. I just talked to Jarvis. Jarvis uses software. So I don't click things. I don't look up information anymore. I say, hey, can you look into my pipeline? Who are the 3 people that I need to send something today? It goes to a CRM. It doesn't pay for Salesforce anymore. It vibe coded its own CRM in Notion in 10 minutes. It knows all my conversations. It knows who's relevant. And it says, well, you told Lucy that you would send an offer and you didn't. So I prepared one based on exactly what you promised her. Here it is. It's in your Gmail draft. Should I send it or do you want to send it? And I still have my coffee here. I feel like the king of England because 43 people working for me. It's amazing for $200. It's awesome.
It's a great example of AI. The imagery of, and it doesn't have to be to that level audience. He's got a bigger company. If you're an entrepreneur, you're missing out because you don't have to hire podcast production. I'm going to probably get beat up for this, but podcast production or your CRM with High Level or Sales Hub, it does it for you. But the cool thing is it's always working for you. The software, you have to work it. I have to go into Salesforce and do the stuff. You just wake up in the morning. Agents, Jarvis is working away, doing the work that you've
and the
done.
costs are $200. So I have mainly solopreneurs in these Jetpack workshops because it's $200, and you spend much less because you can probably cut like 9 or 10 or 11 software subscriptions or agency subscriptions that you used to have.
Yeah, because Notion's free. I don't know if you use the free part, but I've used Notion, and you've gave me a great idea, audience. His tip he just gave you about cloud vitamin coding, Notion, game changer. It's huge because then it's yours because your business is different than mine, and we both could be sales coaches or advisors, but we do it differently, and our Notion is going to be different through the AI and the Claude or whatever you use. I'm with you. I think Claude's the best right now, and that's ever changing. Let's jump in your book. Now you prove to us you're an expert. I made that checkbox. Okay, this guy, he knows his stuff. Now you've written a book that I could have you in my nightstand or my coffee table every day. Tell us about the book.
The book was Jay Abraham and me running a program for clients, and people might be familiar with Jay Abraham. He has coined over the last 25 years many of the iconic things that entrepreneurs apply every day, like the strategy of preeminence, making sure that people know who you are. This idea that you can borrow other people's assets, for example, going on podcasts of somebody else. All these ideas, we are standing on the shoulders of giants like Jay Abraham, Napoleon Hill, etc., who actually came up with these philosophies and with these methodologies. So Jay Abraham is a legend. We were doing a program, and I said, Jay, we have to bring this to many more people who can't afford to be in the program. Let's make a book. And he said, okay. We met for a year every week, and we were discussing back and forth how to turn those program modules that were working the best into a chapter. And we were talking, and AI was listening, and we were typing, and AI was editing. Of course, Cloud Code, Jay Abraham, and Simon Severino, the 3 of us in the trenches, in the middle of helping entrepreneurs. And so week by week, a chapter emerged, and we launched the book. And this is so typical Jay, right? So he's really good with deal making. And so the book wasn't even published yet We published it in February of this year, and already in January, we sold the licensing rights to Japan. So we got paid up front to sell a Google Doc with a licensing deal so that they would translate it all into Japanese and sell the books and create the books, print the books and sell the books. And we said, yeah, cool, we get paid up front. So we just received money for a Google Doc. And then the book now came out in Japan and is helping Japanese entrepreneurs. It came out in English and it's helping American and English-speaking entrepreneurs worldwide. Each chapter wants to create time freedom. The book is called Time Freedom because a main problem of every entrepreneur is you have a limited amount of time per day. So time is your most important resource to protect. And you cannot put in more hours. That's it, 24. So how is it possible that people like Elon Musk, etc., they get so much done and I just get to dinner and then I'm tired and then the day is over. Where did the day go, right? So this really using time wisely and making more time per day rather than less, that's what the book is about. And those 13 chapters, each one is a leverage point to create more time. So for example, one chapter is how you offer something without tying it to your time involvement. So let's say I coach you, right? Like, okay, 1 hour coaching by Simon costs so much. Well, now I'm tying my time. Well, there are other ways, and we show step by step how to do it the other way. For example, the Japanese example is it's creating right now value in Japan. It's creating economic value for Jay and I, but it's not tied to our time.
That's right. And you're building your brand, you and Jay. Jay has a big brand, but you both have big brands. But now more people in Japan know who you are. That's powerful, and there's some very wealthy people listening to my podcast. They could use that because that's one thing. As you get more wealth, for them, a lot of time freedom's lost. And you entrepreneurs out there listening, I'm going to do something for you because Simon's just proved to me that he's extreme expert. I've interviewed over 100 experts in sales. People have billions of dollars. He's there or above. So you first 10 people that reach out to me or Simon about this podcast, I'm going to send you his book for free, Time Freedom. And we want to loosen your time so you can enjoy your family and friends more. But mention the podcast, just reach out. We're going to get Simon's contact information here, or you can reach out to me. And just this week or last week, I gave out 2 books. So I love doing that, and it's a great way to serve people, to help them grow. And you can see above his head, Time Freedom, the way a book looks like. If you want to get it, we'll get the link to you. Before we end here, Simon, what's the tips the best piece of advice for sales that you've seen all these thousands of people you work with that you could share with my audience?
If I had to pick only one thing, let me share what I was doing today, after rowing and playing with my kids, I sit down on the desk, and this is the first thing that I do. So yes, I drink coffee and watch Cloud Code work, but then there is also stuff that I do. So I pick my top 4 for the day. What are the 4 most important things that if I do them every day, they move the boat forward. They move revenue forward, profitability, peace, really the most important things, right? Peace of mind, profitability, revenues. What are the 4 things that if I do them every day, and then I write them down here I write why I do them, because there will be a week where I don't feel like doing them. Why am I doing this? Why am I writing a book? Oh my God, why am I writing a book? Yeah. And then, I remember why, right? And then, because otherwise you don't do it. And here I see the streaks. So it's July 6th. So it's Monday, so there is only 1 streak this week, but there is 3 streaks last week. And when you see a streak, you go, I can do it. I did it for 5 times in a row. I can do a 6th time. So you make it easier for yourself. Remember, an object in movement tends to stay in movement. It's easier for it to stay in movement than to stop. So you get yourself moving on the top 4 things. And this is one of the chapters in Time Freedom, and it's its own workbook. So you get your your boat moving, and then it's easier for the boat to continue moving than to stop. This is what I would do if I had only one thing. And that's literally the first thing that I do in the morning with my coffee in my hand.
It's a great tip because it's a great start. Then they can grab the book and add to that some of the great other advice that you can give them. Let's end with a personal question. I like to get to know my guest a little deeper. So I'm coming in Austria, and I'm going to reserve a table at a restaurant, your favorite restaurant there. Pick whatever that is. Two things I want you to do. I want you to invite 3 people, whether dead or alive, doesn't matter, who've been influential in your life. And then the second part would be, what food would you order? Because I'm a foodie, and I love to know what food you'd like.
Well, since we are in Vienna, we will go to Figelmüller and we will order the original Wiener Schnitzel.
Okay, nice.
I'm picking Jesus to sit with us on our table. And the other chairs will be empty because usually when he's around, people flock around, and he brings the weirdos. He loves weirdos, like you remember Johan and Paul. He always comes with a group of weirdos, and they are so intense. So this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
Matt, the tax collector. I'm thinking another weirdo. Yeah, wow, that is one of the best answers I've heard. I wish I could make that happen. Let's see what happens. AI might bring Jesus back, so we can do that. Simon, I got to thank you so much for taking the time. I've just met you today, and I've got to know you so much more. You do have that servant's heart in an important part of business, which is sales. And then AI, which is coming in strong and fast, and we need to know more about it. How can people connect with you?
I hang out at strategysprints.com. It's strategy, like the strategy, and sprints, like in running, strategysprints.com. And this is where you can find a lot of our tools that we mentioned here. They're open source. They can download them and enjoy strategysprints.com.
Well, thank you again, Simon. Audience, there's your chance. Reach out, get some free stuff. Of course, he ends with a servant's heart. He starts with the impact. He's impacting at the end of this show. I'm going to jump on there, but go to the contact page, mention this podcast, and thank him. Tell him something that you learned from this. I'm going to tell you right now, control is one of the biggest things I learned, and I thank you again, Simon, for that. Me and Simon want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. Share it out to others. Impact others. And with that being said, we want to wish you all a great rest of the day, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.